Good morning, everyone. We're going to get our meeting started by going through our old business from last month, and then we'll get to the new items of this month. Starting off with old business, request to discuss the sidewalk on West Falmouth Highway in the area of Frazar Rd. That was something Mr. Gray, who I have not seen in a couple months, which is shocking to me. So,
I hope he's okay.
I actually emailed him.
yeah,
He's okay. I think they've been focused on the 40B project at 0 West Falmouth Highway.
oh, okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was saying, because I was going to send a welfare check over to check on him. I mean,
That's why I emailed him. I was worried.
I just felt like maybe he was ghosting me and didn't like me anymore.
Well, that
All
too.
right, so we'll get back to that whenever he is able to attend to the next meeting. So, request for installation of a crosswalk on Central Ave at River Haven. TAC recommends installation of crosswalk, so therefore it was forwarded to DPW to have engineering take a look at it. Request for a caution children sign at
Karyb, Jane.
Carol, definitely spelled that wrong because it was 2 in the morning.
Okay.
I think it was Cara Jane Ave. TAC recommended installation of the caution children sign. Request to discuss no Jake brake signs for Route 28A in the area of North Falmouth Rotary. Mass DOT has told residents the town must request the signs. So we're gonna send a letter to MassDOT requesting the signs. Request to review safety concerns for the crosswalk at Scranton Ave and Clinton Ave due to layout and sightlines. We went out there as a committee and looked at it, and it is a very odd layout due to the traffic pattern, and so engineering's gonna take a look at it to see what way they could better suit that area for making it safer to cross the road. Request for no parking signs on County Road from the nursing home to the beach due to parking in the road for the beach. TAC recommends having more police enforcement when needed. Request to discuss speed limit signage at the beginning of Quistit Ave and School Street. Residents would like to see proper signage instead of the current yellow 25-mile-per-hour signs. TAC recommends installing school zone signs on School Street near the school. That brings us to our new business. And Barbara, would you like to take your tally of who's here?
Yeah, I will. It's Karen, K-A-R-Y-N, Jane Ave, back on C. Okay. Request for installation of crosswalk at the intersection of Grand Ave and Pennsylvania Ave. Is there anyone here for that? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Request for caution children sign on Davis Neck Road. Anybody here for that?
That gentleman couldn't make it today, so I'll discuss that one.
Okay. Request to discuss Barneck Road and Gosnell Road. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Okay. Request for share the road signs on Hatchville Road.
She left me a voicemail over the weekend.
Yeah.
I will discuss that one.
Okay. Request for crosswalk at the intersection of Mara Vista and Priscilla Street.
We have Mary,
Okay.
who we all love.
Yes. Request for speed limit signs after safety zones.
That was actually brought forth by a couple different people, so I'll speak on that one.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing you're here. Request from North Falmouth Village Association to lower the speed limits on County Road, Old Main Road, Pine Street, and Winslow Road. And nobody came for all of that. Okay.
So,
I would imagine
Wait a
Lillian.
minute, we're not there yet.
so we actually,
Oh,
she just brought up paperwork for it. That'd be Lily.
Lilia. Oh, okay, I see ya.
So we have one for that one.
Okay, good. Request to discuss Winslow Road in the area of the bike path and Route 28A due to increased traffic. Oh, yeah, from Daily Brew and car versus pedestrian crashes at the bike path.
Yes.
Anybody here for that?
I left messages for them. It's road race weekend, so, well, it was the week before
Was.
road race, so I don't know if they didn't respond or, but I'm sure you know about that area.
Okay. Request to discuss Shore Street if needed.
So
Nobody's here for that.
that was actually taken off the agenda because they were talking about putting in a town meeting request for the signs that flash the radar speed.
Oh, yeah.
And Peter's actually looking at getting those funded already through town meeting, so they didn't have to discuss it, so.
Okay. All right. So we start with
Barneck Road.
Barneck Road and Gosnell Road intersection.
So I received an email from DPW this morning because they're the ones that put the request in. And I believe one of the concerns was that the signage that was put up by Penzance Point is on the town right of way, but does not have permits pulled through the town or through the building committee. So,
Can I speak to that?
yes.
Jim Newman, I think I started this discussion. I'm a resident of Woods Hole and town meeting member, and I use that intersection a lot at Gosnold and Barneck Road. The legality of the signs is not really my primary concern. It's not where I started. I came into this because when I come into Barneck Road off Gosnold or leave the yacht club, which I do frequently on foot or on bicycle, the people coming off Penzance are often going very fast. The sight lines to the yacht club are lousy. I assumed, based on the signage that exists, there's a sign right at the corner of Gosnold that says, "Private road, please turn here." I assumed that was where the private road started. I know now that it's not,
Yeah.
but I approached somebody on Penzance and asked them to, if they could put a stop sign there, knowing that that wouldn't be a popular idea, but seemed appropriate, given that one should stop leaving a private way.
Right.
And I was informed that that's not a private way until you're down at the gatehouse. It's 130 feet. The signage implies that it's a private way, and to me, that's actually the biggest problem that I see, is simply that the sign would make anybody think that they can't go on that public road because it says private road. I understand that the people that live, especially along that section of road, don't want people pulling down to the gatehouse and discovering that they can't go any farther and having to turn around in cars. But I think that needs to be a less confusing sign. Pam Harvey's here, who's on the Penzance Road trustees. She's one of the Penzance Road trustees, and she has told me informally that the Penzance is willing to change that sign to a private road ahead, and then make it clear where the private road starts. And that would satisfy my biggest concern. I do think there's a safety issue with cars that are going over speed bumps all the way out the private road on Penzance, reach the gatehouse, and suddenly they've got a wide open road, and a few of them hit the gas and come through that intersection very fast.
And I think looking at the Gosnold doesn't have a stop sign either.
No.
So I think with that intersection, there needs to be some kind of stop sign at the intersection. And technically, Barneck is the throughway.
So it would go on Gosnold.
It doesn't.
So on Gosnold.
I don't think you're really solving much of a problem
No.
with the stop sign there. But
So I figured we have to address the stop sign issue, then we have to address the signage issue. So it's just because with that intersection, if somebody comes off Gosnold and they don't realize that there's a throughway technically for the town, and they're not stopping, and there's a crash there, there has to be some kind of,
Is it really a throughway if it services two houses and it has no road?
it's the,
Because it's only a public way for two houses.
but it's still the main road. And then also then you come into the problem where if Gosnold doesn't have a stop sign and someone's coming down Barneck to go into Penzance, and your road clearly goes straight, they're not gonna think that Penzance has the right of way, or I mean Gosnold has the right of way.
There
So,
are so many intersections in this world that don't have
correct,
stop signs.
yes. There's a lot of, we'll call them ancient ways that don't have proper signage or width.
Oh, no, an each way has a different definition.
Yes. So, but I think at that intersection, it would not hurt to have the signage fixed correctly with the proper permitting from the town, which the Penzance Association's lawyer is here, which he can work on the proper permitting and the proper signage. And then installing a stop sign at the end of Gosnold so that way the intersection has a clear, controlled way
Would you recommend also a stop bar?
and a stop bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
a what?
How about a stop sign coming off
Off of Penzance?
Penzance?
So you want to make it like a three-way stop?
I feel strongly that there should be some kind of.
But, so if you have
I'll-
Barneck Road, which is a town road, which is going straight,
Right, and then, and you see a sign that says private road, and you're not going that way. So you're.
Private road
Or
ahead.
you're lost.
yeah,
So you're slowing down no matter. if you're. the
Right, but there's a
place-
lot of residents
the
and
people
workers that
are
go
going
straight.
west Are the residents coming off of Barnet, coming off of Penzance Road, and the contractors going on.
So I think what we do is we pass it along to DPW engineering to review the intersection
Okay.
and decide what, since they're the engineers, let
Right.
them decide on what fits best for the intersection.
Especially considering the sightlines side of
And we will
the,
suggest that the Penzance Association gets the proper permitting for their signs in the proper place.
I personally would be in favor of a stop sign coming off of Penzance, but I've had three other suggestions for things that might help. One would be a dead-end sign as you're entering.
Yeah, we can do that.
Possibly a yield sign instead of the stop sign, which could help. I don't know how much that actually slows down traffic if they don't see a car, but,
I think the dead end signs are good.
and the third, which I know this is a huge lift, would be a speed table. Since they've got
Sorry, I didn't hear the third one.
speed table,
Oh.
they have speed bumps all the way
I
out the
didn't
point, all the way out the point, but there's nothing after the guardhouse. There's a nice, long, straight section where you can gun it.
On a
And
town road.
that seems
The
to,
DPW has been strongly against speed tables.
I'm aware of
Since the
that.
ones on School Street were installed.
I
I
love,
don't think they're gonna install a speed bump or a speed table on a town roadway.
okay, I understand that that's a tall lift. It
Yes.
didn't stop me from asking.
I think
I live between those two speed bumps, speed tables on Quistit Avenue and
I think
School
our
Street,
best
and
thing is
I
we'll-
love them.
Suggest the dead end sign that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then suggest that the Town of Falmouth Engineering Department study the intersection, see what they find best for a traffic control pattern.
Thank you.
And then also the Penzance Association apply for proper permits for their signs and proper location for them.
May I say one last thing? I really appreciate Penzance lets pedestrians walk out there. That's really generous of them and hugely appreciated, and I do not want to be generally seen as casting aspersions on Penzance.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak? Go ahead, Rick.
I'm Pamela Harvey. I'm a current trustee of the Road Trust, Penzance Road Trust. I just wanted to say that I think part of the issues with the location of the yacht club driveway, which I think there have been problems with people being able to access the yacht club, which is right there next to the intersection on Barneck Road. And I think part of the problem there is that the sight line is obscured by a Rosa rugosa bush.
Yes.
This tree that's very large and is growing over the road now. So I think, there may be some speed issues there, although I think at this point, most of the traffic does not go on Barneck anymore. It goes to get to Quistit Avenue because of the bottleneck at the post office, which is another
DPW
problem.
trim the
But anyway,
vegetation.
so I think, but the extent to which that the yacht club driveway, whether or not that's causing problems, I think that could really be helped a lot if we could do something about that bush. And I don't know if that's a yacht club problem or a town problem.
So that's
trim
that's
it.
DPW, so we can, what I'll do is I'll have engineering while they're out there, look at the sight lines and determine what needs to be cut back. And so when they look at the,
There's also a big set of utility poles there,
Yep.
which
obscures the
Yeah.
thing.
The sign
Yeah.
itself the yacht club sign itself may have to
Yeah. I know the DPW was actually just talking recently about looking at that road and cutting back and with the overnight parking signage.
Yeah.
So, because I know I know the residents like it to be checked for vehicles from out of town that are parking there and taking up all the parking. So we've been going down there at night and checking over by the park, in that area. So I have them going down there doing that. And some of the residents were upset because they had to park further down the road because people were parking in front of their house. So then they were getting parking tickets. So I've discussed it with the officers who were down there at night checking and said, we run the plates of the cars that we ticket. If the resident lives on that road 2 houses up, I said, please use your discretion when deciding on whether or not a parking ticket is appropriate for the situation. So we are trying to work on that and, hopefully we can make things better for that roadway.
Okay.
So,
Good. And I just wanted to say also that people do stop when they leave Penzance Road and then go onto Barneck Road. There's not a stop sign there, but there's a very very steep speed bump. We
Speed
have
bump.
5 speed bumps out on Penzance Road and
Yep.
a speed limit of 20 miles an hour, and that's our.
I know, I've gone over them,
traffic
going to a
calm.
few calls
Yeah.
out there at night.
Yes, they're serious speed bumps, so yeah, we kind of do our best, and the signage really is to keep people from making turns on the 3 houses that are on
Yeah.
Barneck before you get, so it's, we're doing the best we can with a kind of tight situation, trying
Right.
to be good neighbors. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Ms. Bumpus, would you like to speak? No?
No?
Okay, when DPW's gone out and done their thoughts,
Yes.
will that then just happen, or will we talk about it again?
Usually DPW does what they want to do with their roadways. But if you'd like, when they decide, I can try getting an email off to you and discuss it with you.
I would appreciate that very much, thank you.
Not a problem. That's if they tell me about it, because sometimes they don't even tell me about it, they just do what they want to do.
They're
so.
out there and they do it.
Yeah, so. But if there's a problem with it, we can discuss it after, if they just do it without me knowing. All right, on to our next one.
Is A, request for installation of a crosswalk at the intersection of Grand Ave and Pennsylvania Ave.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for your
Morning.
time. I'm Julie Menendez. I live at 16 Nantucket Ave, which is basically on the corner of Grand Ave and Penn Ave. My husband Kevin is here, and this is my father Joe. Joe lives on the Mass Court and Grand side, so we've been there about 45 years at this point, seen obviously a ton of change where it was the brothers and the casino, and now it's shipwrecked, and hopefully what will become of what was the casino.
Yeah.
And we actually love the energy and everything going on at the Heights, so we're not people that are, upset about noise or
Right.
traffic or any of those things. But we are a large family in the area, and we have a number of neighbors that all spend their entire summers, as well as if they don't live in that area. And it's just become, as you know, highly trafficked by both residents and visitors. And we are asking for either a proper side crosswalk or at least cross markings at the Penn Ave and Grand Ave intersection at the Heights Beach, not the Grand
Right.
Ave behind us, obviously. And, I will say that the addition of the outside area of shipwrecked, we don't actually feel speed is a problem at all. I think with the Grand Ave study that Sergeant Oliver provided to us and everything else, we actually don't think anything about the speed. It's actually the distraction of drivers.
Yeah.
And the only cross streets that don't have crosswalks are Mass Ave and Penn Ave. And what's interesting about that is those are the closest to the most activity.
Yeah.
So the closest crosswalk is at the Falmouth Heights parking lot, which none of us encourage our kids to go over to the parking lot to cross where all the cars are or waiting
Right.
to get into the parking lot, or to go over where people are, it's just a very busy intersection over at the field.
Yeah.
And so I sat down from 3 to 4:30 on Thursday, August 7th. 67 people crossed at Penn Ave alone, okay? I also saw within that time, outside of my own experiences every summer, and that a person stopped for another person to cross.
Yeah.
The other person stopped. The person behind that person swerved around.
Goes around.
I think they're
That's
stopping
nice.
for the
There,
beach.
there have been so many near, accidents, close things, and with these children, the food truck is right there at the Penn Ave cross. The showers are right there at the Penn Ave cross. It's also where they do connect for all the swim lessons Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon. There are kids running up and back, and it's an accident waiting to happen. Do you have anything to add to that, Kevin?
So,
I think maybe just that it seems logical because all of the other streets have the cross markings that, this street in particular, we're both Mass and it would make sense to have markings for each of the streets that are crosses there, and especially, as Julie said, being so close to the highest density area, showers, the food truck, and the restaurant, that's where all these people are going.
The activity
I
center.
honestly don't think that any of us would disagree with that intersection. Just busy with everything that's over there with shipwreck, the
Yep.
hotel, everything.
Yep.
mean,
I
know.
have one question. Shipwrecked.
Mhm.
The road, okay, if you're facing Shipwrecked from the beach, the road that goes down the right-hand side of Shipwrecked, is that Mass Ave?
That's nice out.
Yes,
Okay. And then Penn is what, the next one?
Exactly.
Sorry, I don't live on the heights.
No, that's fine. I actually brought a couple of these out, and one's just a closer view. So I'll give you that, and this is the broader view as well.
Great.
Would you like the copy?
Yeah,
You're bringing
okay,
one.
okay.
So
I
think,
know
honestly,
exactly where you
if
are,
look at
right
it,
here.
Because you have one here.
Yeah.
It kind of splits it down, they have one here.
Yeah,
I don't see
any
issue
problem
with
with that. Do you know the Walshes that live on Mass Ave? No?
Mass Ave, which house is it on Mass Ave? Oh, do you know them?
You know them. Yeah. They've been there forever.
I wave to them and see them with my dogs all the time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and especially, with Shipwrecked having the outside people and everything, people come out of come over, and all they're looking at is what's happening outside at the restaurant, which again, we love. We have no problem with that. But nobody's looking for the kids and everything else that's going on. So
Yeah.
having those markings are pretty
The only
significant.
advantage that it's become a really popular
Right.
area. I mean, we love that it's grown in popularity, so just urges the need for the crosswalk.
I will say that, we'll suggest it. It's not an easy, because for them to do that, they have to put some kind of handicap access across the road.
Right.
So it's one of the things where it's have to go DPW. We'll suggest it. It's going to really rely on funding and what they can do. So, but we will refer it forward to engineering to look at it and see what they can do.
Is it not possible to create the markings without the handicap access?
Because when they're going across, they'd have to, when they go across and hit that curb, if there was like a ramp there already, they kind of can, they're not supposed to skirt the ADA compliant stuff with like the ramp with the proper bump strip and everything else.
Yeah.
But they would have to do, more than likely have to do something about at least the sidewalk ramp.
Okay.
The other ones, do they have?
No,
Oh, so we just
some
go
of them are
right
just
to
markings.
Yeah.
Yeah, some are just markings.
Well, we'll put it in, so
Yeah.
if they want to do that, that's up to the DPW. I'm just
Okay.
letting you know that they could look at it and say, well, we need to put, so it might take a little longer, or might have to wait till they get funds for it.
Okay.
We will suggest it forward.
Okay, and then how would we be followed up with,
So
or should I?
once it goes to, like, it's kind of a weird process.
It is.
I fill out a work order.
Okay.
I send it to DPW. DPW then decides if it's funded. They then send it back to me. Then I then bring it to the town manager. The town manager then looks at it and says, okay, it's worth spending the funds on. Then he gives it back to me. Then I bring it back to DPW. So it's a lengthy process.
Okay,
So once I get word from them on what they're going to do, usually once DPW kicks it back to me, I know whether or not it's funded.
okay,
And then I can at least, one way or another, let you know that it's, something they're gonna fund, or they're gonna have to wait,
okay.
an idea what's going on.
And when did they get their budgets?
It depends on what it is, so we just got our budgets July 1 for the year,
Okay,
but then there's town meeting where they get another bump and it kind of they get more, so it depends on what they have in their funds.
okay.
So-
If it turns out that they don't feel like they have the funds in the current budget,
Yep.
then do we have to come back and request
So,
a new budget year, or?
When they say it's a funded project, not funded project, they can, if they're gonna wait till next year, they'll usually say, upon funds of next year or something like that, they'll let us know. So, but when I find out from DPW, I talk to them, I'll let you guys know.
Right,
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Question about this. Is this area on the beach safety zone 20 mile an hour?
it is.
So people are going 20?
Yeah, the speed is not an issue.
They're just not looking straight.
So I did the speed study before the safety zone was in there. I did the speed zone before, the study before the safety zone was in there. And the average speed was already before the safety zone about 28 miles an hour. So it's very congested over there, so people, and plus people tend to look at the ocean, so they drive by slower anyway.
Yeah.
But there is the spike in the same issue like what you guys have on County Road, where you have the motorcycles who, for some reason, when they see our speeding signs, they tend to try and use it as a game to see how high they can get it.
They're used to playing video games and try to beat it.
Every speed study we do,
Get their initials up there.
we end up with some kind, and it takes a picture usually when a car is speeding, and you can, depending on if it catches it or not, it'll kind of give you an image. And with those, it's like 80 miles an hour, and you're like, it's just blank road, and you're like, yeah, they already went by.
I don't know how much sort of information you convey to DPW in the request, but I was the one that was in the street when our kids, when the car swerved around into the oncoming lane. And I think that because they come from a crosswalk and then there's not another one for 3 more streets,
Right,
when someone stopped, they're just like, oh, you must be dropping someone off the beach,
right.
swerving around, right? But if there was a visual crosswalk there and someone stopped.
Crosswalk
and said,
sign, then they
"Oh,
have an idea that,
they
yeah, it's
must
a
have stopped
crosswalk.
at the crosswalk, right, instead of just dropping someone off the beach.
Yeah.
So do you think that that plays into this, like, kind of danger issue?
No, I will say, to be honest with you, I think the crosswalk's a great idea, and I think 90% of people will realize that. But I'm gonna tell you, there will be the 10% that will still try passing the car, stopping people in the crosswalk. They do it on Main Street.
Right.
It's amazing to me, the
Yeah.
things that happen in this town. So,
Thank you.
but we will put it forward, and I will let you know.
Thank you, Val. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and then that brings
Next one
us
is E, crosswalk at the intersection of Mara Vista and Priscilla.
Mary, do you want to go first, or do you want to go next? Do you want to let Lily go, or do you want to go? Yes. I know. Well, that's what I figured. You wanted to watch the meeting anyway, so I figured she can do hers, then you can do yours next.
I've always been on the side of sending everybody to.
Yes.
First time being here and on this side.
Mary was our dispatcher who retired after a long, amazing career with Falmouth PD.
Okay.
So,
Lilia Franton, North Falmouth Village.
Okay, that mic is not on.
Oh.
So.
yeah. So
Make any difference?
yeah. So it doesn't really.
Speak up, please.
So Lilia
Yeah.
had an issue where she's been trying to get a hold of us for months, and unfortunately, she had the wrong email address.
Oh, wonderful.
So then I got a hold of her, and now we're finally getting her on the agenda.
Yay.
So I actually started with going to the traffic calming application, and I hand-delivered it to Town Hall because I wanted to make sure it got to you. And I never heard back from you. I don't know if you ever received
I don't
it.
know if they give the calming applications to me or to DPW, because I didn't receive one.
Well, I didn't know where and what would be best, so I thought, well, Town Hall. And when I went, someone said, oh, I'll bring it right over. So I don't know.
So yeah, so probably DPW gets their mail every day, so probably went to the DPW.
Maybe so. But in any event, may I read? So that thing that I wrote was discombobulated because it was online and I don't handle the online very well. Pardon my froggy throat. But I'm just going to read. The application sets up a description of the request and then the nature of the neighborhood traffic issue. So the description is to lower speed limits from 30 to 25 miles per hour on Old Main, County, and Winslow roads and Pine Street. Consistency of the speed limit is not only required as each roadway is connected and a true thoroughfare, but consistency will help in raising driver awareness, understanding, and self-enforcement. Haha. Nature of neighborhood traffic and why it may be beneficial. North Falmouth Village is connected by a long, straight, and hilly Old Main Road and Historic District with a densely settled status. It's a unique community of very active young families with children and many active retired residents. Home also to North Falmouth Elementary School, 2 popular playgrounds, a library and a playground. The village also includes 2 entrances to the bike and pedestrian path at Winslow and County. That is a popular community and tourist attraction, home to a small but vibrant business area, a retirement home, a church, a child daycare center, as well as home to 2 popular beaches at New Silver and Magansett. These characteristics all fit the requirements for slower speed limits from 30 to 25, as described in blah, blah, blah. Note that over the years, the area at Old Main, Wild Harbor, and Pine Street have reported accidents, including a mother and child driving home from school and an elderly resident struck in the crosswalk as he was crossing at the corner of Pine and Old Main. He required hospitalization and a lot of therapy. He never really fully recovered. These obviously are caused by careless and speeding drivers, not by everybody. Now, Consistent lowered speed limits and adequate signage is required to ensure community safety and to protect our quality of life. We have requested this for several years, but as the population has grown, especially along Old Main Road, now also with an planned affordable housing unit off of Benjamin Nye Lane, which is another connecting street, and Old Main, it has become clear it is time to make this change. Consistency, in other words, with all of these roads being all 25, consistency will help remind and drive home the need for lowered speed limits for drivers and more careful driving habits. Thank you very much. An addendum, very quickly. I was outside and I happened to see a Lawrence Lynch employee, this is going back to May, in front of my house, and they were going to be repaving Old Main Road. And we met and we had a little joke. Oh, now the people will really go fast. And guess what? This morning at 4 o'clock, a motorcyclist who loved to jam on their revved up motors had a backfire. And my husband and I almost jumped out of bed. At 6:20,
It didn't say Falmouth Police on the side, did it?
I was just going to say,
Did it
was
say
that
Falmouth Police on the side of the motorcycle?
Oh, it's not up before.
That's right after the school zone,
Yeah.
which is 20. And then at 6:20, someone who regularly goes by at 20 after 6, 20 after 3, 20 after 5. Again, they go so fast, I don't even call it passing by. They whiz past. I can't even see them. They go so fast. So there's a lot of speeding. But my main problem is, not everybody speeds, but everybody goes over 30. Everybody. So they're speeding, which is a problem. I almost got hit this morning. I was over by my post box and I was leaning down and pushed up by the street. And someone, I was by my post box. I mean, he could have hit the post box. Someone almost hit me and I really had to jump. And I turned around and they continued so fast. I even remember what color the car was. I said to her, someone in a dark gray car almost hit me. But in any event, it's not everybody. But the problem is, Old Main Road is a very convenient avoidance of 28 and the lights.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they come down Winslow, jam on their gas because they love to be able to go the same speed they would have gone on 28. They want to go on Old Main the same. So they jam on not their brakes, they jam on their gas. And so they continue speeding down. So it's a matter of Old Main Road being unique in that it is an avoidance road.
Yes.
It's unlike any of the other villages. I mean, Woods Hole
Well, no,
is
because
stuck. Yes.
you have Old Barnstable Road
Okay.
is the same exact thing, because every
I
cuts
live
down Old
off of that
Barnstable to avoid 28 and Sandwich Road and 151. And I live right off that, and trust me, you should hear the cars. Oh yeah. So you have that Carriage Shop, Fresh Pond Road. So there's a lot of, and we totally understand and we agree with you. So what I think that our best thing to do would be is we have the traffic study signs that actually get data from the roadway.
Yeah.
So that we can actually physically say, hey, look here, this is what the speeds are. So what I'll have is Officer McGraw do the speed studies for Old Main, Pine, and was it
County and Winslow.
County and Winslow?
County and
So-
Winslow.
What we'll do is we'll try we have 2 sets of signs. So we can do 2 roads at a time. We'll put the signs out there. We'll leave them out there first blank. So that way they're not flashing, catching people's attention. And that'll catch the raw data of the roadway, of how they're driving. Then we'll turn them on after a couple days, and it will flash and give them driver feedback, and to see if that changes their pattern of how they're driving. So we'll do probably a week on each. So we'll do like Pine and Old Main, and then County and or whatever, Old Main.
Yeah.
So I'll have Officer McGraw do those. We'll get the studies ready for next month's meeting, and then we'll meet back here and we'll discuss it, and we'll go over the traffic studies, see what they say, and then we'll see where we need to go from there.
Okay. I'm going to read one more thing that I wrote in the letter to you.
Yeah.
Your email, I should say. is, and eventually, when all else fails, which from experience I fear will fail, we need, everybody grimace, raised speed tables, which have become, I've heard this from people, I've been talking about this for 10 years. I am now hearing it from people who come to me and say, 25, that's not good enough. We need raised speed tables. And then, whoa, where have I
Really?
heard that before? So, and I know it's happening all through town.
No, but the town has not installed any of them.
Right.
How about
Everybody's
Woods-
requested them, and
How about
nobody's-
Woods Hole, too?
1 and 2 in Woods Hole were put in illegally by a DPW director who,
But they're there.
but they were put in illegally, and the DPW that put them in resigned within a few weeks. Those were never supposed to be put in, and they've never been put in any since, and those were put in the 90s, I believe.
I remember when they were put in.
The first
and
one was put in illegally. I think the second one
No,
was
they
put
both
in
were.
after.
They were both done at the same
they?
They were
time.
both
Well,
illegal.
all I can say is they were effective, aren't they?
No.
24/7.
I have emails right now of people complaining on that roadway about people flying over the speed bumps and not even slowing down. And that's the people that were requesting the better speed limit signs. So,
And then the one at Megansett in our North Falmouth Village,
yeah.
another speed bump.
And
Speed
honest-
table. They're
Here's the
not
problem that
bumps.
we're having too, is they actually put in things on like 28A to slow people down. They put, they were in the roadway, they were kind of like rumble strips. And people would slow down for them, or even with the table, like the raised
Tables.
tabletops. People go over them and then they accelerate to take off.
I know.
So then the people that live there complain that they hear cars constantly. So it's kind of a, but I think what would be best is to get the data from your roadway, see what fits the situation best. I know right now we're looking at the DPW is trying to get funding for the driver feedback radar speed limit signs.
Yeah, can you qualify? When you said you put up the speed signs?
So we have signs that are about this big.
Right, oh yeah,
And
traffic.
it says
And they
on
light
it,
up.
it says your speed,
Yeah.
and they light up and they'll flash at you and they tell you, like, if you're doing 20, it says 20. Well, we can set them so that way, if the speed limit's 30 miles an hour, as soon as they go over 30, it will flash at them. Let them know, hey, you're speeding, slow down.
So then how do you monitor?
It actually goes right through they have a wireless system, and they actually broadcast right back to our computer at work, and it records all the data. But they're battery powered, so they only last about a week. So, big thing is when we put them out there,
Yeah.
please let everybody know that when they're on and they're blank, they're not broken. We're just collecting raw data, because we'll get that every time is, you put these signs out here and they're not even
Not
on.
working.
And I have to write back and say, yes, they are on, they're collecting data without affecting the traffic, so we actually see what people are doing before we give them a corrective measure.
Yeah.
So, and then maybe once, the town's trying to get the funding for Shore Street and Quaker Road right now. And they're gonna explain to the town further that they actually need a budget for electronic signs.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be more common to actually get them put into neighborhoods that need them, such as Old Main Road.
Yeah.
So, but we'll look at it.
Those are connected. And I want to say thank you so much, because we've driven on Sippawisset, I don't know if it's called Sippawisset
So
Road.
was it yet? Just got them?
And 25, and you've put in about a dozen 25-mile-per-hour zone signs,
Yep.
and that works.
Well, the 25 mile an hour on that road was actually put in on the design of the road because how curvy it is and how narrow it is.
Yes. Oh,
So,
absolutely.
But like I said, let's get the speed studies going, and we'll meet next month, and we'll go from there and see what we can do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant Oliver. Catherine Jansen, Bike Ped Committee. Just to note that County Road has another special instance where overflow parking for the bike path is at the library.
Yep.
They have a lot of families coming down county to get on the bike path and then coming back up
Yep.
to get back to their parking. So,
All right. Duly noted.
thank you, sir.
It's an active little area.
Yes.
It's small, but it's
Small but mighty. Like me.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
All right. And Mary, that brings us to you.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's all.
First, I would just like to say to the committee, thank you. You made my job 22 years a lot easier. Because I learned part of my job was to field things that were not necessarily a police response, but they needed response and directive.
Yeah, some
And
attention.
I sent a lot of folks your way, so thank you for that. We were real shorthanded many times during my career. And I was lucky to have officers to send to the priority calls. So you were a huge help, although you never knew it and I never acknowledged you. So I am publicly acknowledging you. And you too, thank you for everything you've done. Now I can see your participation in here. I know I was always losing officers to come over for a traffic advisory meeting, which I was okay with, but at the same time I was like, how long is this going? I need another car.
Right.
But I saw everything firsthand that these officers do on a daily basis. I know how stressful it is. I know how many of these town events that you deal with. And I know how many of these traffic complaints that you deal with out on the road throughout the town. So, thank you. And I miss you kids.
Miss you too, Mary.
But since Mom retired, that's what I always call myself.
The mom of the police department.
She was.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you,
That is
Mom.
very
Put on
well.
your sunblock. Yeah, but since I retired, I've got a lot of time. Been working on my 22-year to-do list. Everything that got put aside while I was working 16-hour shifts, and have been doing a lot of yard work. And I'm seeing firsthand the trouble that people are having crossing from Priscilla to get to the other side of the street for the sidewalk. And it's not 100% during the day that this problem, it's all traffic related. How heavy the traffic is. You know where the big cut through from the extension down by Homestead,
Yep.
down to Randolph Street to avoid all the T-ticket highway. You guys have done a good job addressing the speed issues out there. I'm thrilled you put in the four-way stop at Randolph. I don't have any more flipped cars in my yard. My telephone pole hasn't been taken out. My underground wiring ripped up.
In a whole season?
We had 3 in a year.
It's huge.
I
That four-way has been
Yeah.
huge. I have not seen hardly any crashes out there since. I don't even know if I've seen
Yeah.
one. But I've also seen all my neighbors trying to come up to the top of Priscilla Street, stand there and wait for somebody to let them cross. They've got 3 or 4 little, I would say 5 and less year olds, some in strollers, some in wagons. They've got the dog on the leash, they've got the wagon with all the beach chairs and the towels, and they're simply trying to cross the avenue to get to the beach on the other side of Priscilla Street. And I've been shocked at how many people don't stop, act like they're gonna, and then yesterday one of my neighbors pulled his shepherd back by the collar, lifted him off the street because they were in the street. It looked like the car was gonna stop, but he decided he wasn't, so he backed up quick. And I was glad it was just him and the dog, because when they have all the children and all the paraphernalia that they're trying to get across with, it's ridiculous. The only drawback to that four-way stop is sometimes the traffic backs up when you got the lunch crowd trying to
Yeah.
here and there. You know, just there's pockets where it's heavy. Like road race, 4th of July, it's heavy. But they'll get somebody from the left side, they're gonna stop ahead, so they're gonna stop and let them cross. They get into the lane, but the traffic coming from the right now, they've had to stop at the intersection. They pick up speed trying to get back up Mara Vista. They don't necessarily see the pedestrians in the lane waiting to cross. Thank God they don't just assume that the person on the right's gonna stop. So it's just been too many near misses, and I understand the cost and all of that, the guidelines for the yellow sidewalk list. And I'm not asking for
The
that.
ADA ramps.
Yeah, I'm just asking for.
The yellow bumpy
a-
things.
Huh?
The yellow bumpy things?
Yeah, the yellow bumpy
That's what we
thing.
call them, yeah.
But if there's something in the road, because it seems to me, watching the traffic, it seems to me they're focused on getting to the stop sign to take their turn or head to the beach. But they see pedestrians on the side of the street, and the mentality seems to be, there's not a crosswalk, I don't have to stop, and they will go. But you'll get you can always tell the people that have families and little kids themselves and understand what these people are going through trying to get across. And they will stop, whether there's a marker there or not. But I'd say that there's a good portion of them that don't. So I said, well, I've seen enough of this stuff.
I don't see an issue with it.
I've strode out to the lawn and threw my hand up to stop cars.
Other
It's just
close to the
ridiculous.
area?
Where's
or-
the next closest crosswalk there, going
There's
across
only,
Mara
and
Vista?
that's the other part. On the extension, there is numerous. I lost track how many there were.
But that's because of the
last one-
school and everything?
Yeah, that's from Homestead down. There's
Yeah.
there's
First
a
one to
bunch of
her.
there because of the school. The last one on the extension is right where the bend, where the avenue turns left to go towards TAC Highway.
Randolph Street or
Randolph Street
Or all the way
right
up
down
at
by
Nixon.
Boston, by the water.
Wait a minute, there's one at
No, I take that,
Randolph?
yeah.
I know.
Randolph,
In between, so the nearest
Boston.
ones for her are at the intersection of Mara Vista, the Mara Vista Extension, or all the way down at Randolph and Mara Vista. That's the other ones near.
So it's not like we don't cross the avenue where there's not a crosswalk traffic depending, but I'm just saying that when you have
Once you get past
huge
Randolph-
crowds of people, like the 4th of July,
pass
I was
Randolph,
shocked.
there's
There
no
were at least
crosswalk all the way
100
until you
people
get down
with all the kids and grandchildren that came
Boston, yeah.
up Priscilla to cross and go down to see the fireworks.
Okay. Now,
You know, I have no
they're
interest.
trying to get to the sidewalk on the other side of the street
Correct.
to go down the avenue, or?
A lot of them
the
do
others-
go down the avenue, they're walking up towards the beach and the heights.
Yeah.
Some of them just walk daily, they go down and come all the way
Take the kids
around.
up to
So
the school to
there's a
playground.
lot of walkers
Oh.
that cross.
Yeah.
But what set me off was watching the families just
Yeah.
try to just get across to go down the other end of the street.
Okay.
But the people that are there to cross the street and, get to the sidewalk so they can walk in either direction, they go through the same thing. But like I said, it was the
So
families
now we
with
have
the
a
kids
blinking
that-
light there?
At Randolph.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
It is at
I thought
Mara Vista
Priscilla
Extension.
had one.
No.
no, there's only two.
Priscilla's not the one that has the four-way stop.
It's up by,
She's a couple streets up from the four-way.
Randolph Street, if you're coming down Randolph to Mara Vista, it's
Yeah.
right there on the right, and
Okay.
You have
Frankly, I wouldn't
Randolph,
cross
two
there.
streets, and then hers.
Yeah, but aren't there two
then way up
lights
by
on there?
Boston.
Yeah, but there's one at Mara Vista, in Mara Vista Extension.
Oh,
and one at
okay.
Randolph.
And that one's actually
All right.
on the extension, that's not on the avenue.
I get it.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I don't see an issue other than the same thing we dealt with Grand Ave and Penn. It's
Yeah.
ADA.
Right.
yeah. So I say just put it forward to DPW, let them figure it out with engineering.
Yeah.
If they can do it, they can do it. If not,
I like it.
all right.
Yep.
So we'll put it forward to
I
DPW.
just put it for consideration. and
See what they can
I
do.
Thank you for your time, it was wonderful
Very
to see
welcome.
you. Nice to meet you.
See.
You guys have a good day.
You too. So Lilia can actually, we're gonna talk about Winslow Road and the bike path in the Daily Brew. And I'm sure, KJ, you probably have something with this too. I mean, the traffic increase since Daily Brew has come in is amazing.
It is.
And they can't get parking, and then they drive around.
Driving around.
And then people on the bike path don't
I
stop.
would walk across because Winslow's is now,
Yeah.
very now. Houses, again, see where it's close to. So I walked to see how wide it was.
Yeah.
It was, it's just me stepping.
Yeah.
3-foot thing.
I call that the Portuguese measuring tape when I do it.
So it's about 18 feet.
Yeah.
Compliant is 20 or 22.
20.
That means, yeah. So that means 1-foot lanes, which two cars cannot go past it.
Right.
I would almost suggest, it'll never happen, but that could be a one-way street.
Oh, here we go.
What is that?
I said, oh, here we go.
Yeah,
One-way
yeah.
street.
But I'm just saying,
Or we could do land taking on either side. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't really mean it.
you can take one.
Hyannis just reversed their one-way streets that were downtown because people actually speed more
Yeah.
on the one-way.
Because it makes the roadway wider.
we have a problem in that cyclists do not stop to cross the roads.
Right.
Chapel Road is terrible.
People just blow right across.
They
Yes,
don't
they
even
do.
pause. They don't even tap their brakes. So we've been discussing signage. I mean, there's stop signs there.
Those are full-size stop signs now, aren't they?
There's stop signs.
And are there any signs that tell them to dismount?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't ride a bike,
Got
so.
stop sign ahead, dismount for crossing.
That's
Yep.
correct. And we've tried explaining
Yeah,
to
Pete, they
people
don't-
that, you know, the state of Massachusetts, if you're riding your bike in a crosswalk, you are not protected.
Yes.
Right.
If you're
It's-
walking and you get hit, you have protection.
Right.
The protection of the law. But if you're riding, you don't.
The bicycle, you count just as a regular person in traffic. It'd be like me turning my car in front of you from the side of the
That's
road.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with the golf carts on Old Barnstable.
Oh my
They pull up in the
gosh.
golf carts and they just whip across in front of you and then.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So I don't know what can be done. I mean, Chappaquoit Road has the, you know, stanchion in the middle of the crosswalk.
Yeah,
to kind
yes.
of, and I feel drivers there are a little bit more careful because they know.
Right.
Probably.
But yeah, the Daily Brew, there was just another crash there last week.
Yeah.
Question. I know this can't be done unilaterally, but we live off of Winslow, so we're constantly using Winslow. And we always stop when we come to the crosswalk. Because children in particular, when they have their parents,
Yeah.
the kids are in the front because the parents want to keep their eye on them. So the kids don't know where they're stopping. Is there any way to change the dynamics so that cars have to stop?
We can't put stop signs at a crosswalk now.
No.
Stop signs are only used for controlling an intersection, and it's usually to control an intersection due to, you know, public safety. We can't even use them in the
Can't do
traffic
it for
safety code,
speed.
like you can't use it just to slow down a roadway. A lot of people say, oh, we'll just throw a four-way stop sign in the middle somewhere, and we'll slow people down. And you really can't.
Can't be done.
And then also too, when we throw the four-way stop signs in, you get people that complain about, well, people stop and then they take off like a bat. It's like,
Crazy,
yes. Well, and honestly, we have a problem where our infrastructure for our town was not designed for 40,000 people, never mind 140,000 people.
Yeah.
So,
with the tonnage of the cars and how
Right.
fast they can go.
Right.
I mean, there is the solution of a chicane on the path. However, I know that there was one at Terhune that DPW ended up taking down because people ride around it.
Oh, yeah, they'll do what they have to do to get around it and knock it off their bike.
Yeah.
And at Terhune, you've got ambulances coming around the corner and going up to the hospital.
Yeah.
That crossway freaks me out. The other one is Locust. Yeah. They come right across Locust without stopping.
I was just trying to see what the signage is over there at the bike path that's already in place.
Yeah, there's a stop sign there. We actually have we just did a survey of all the signage on the bike path with a look at redoing the signage so that every single intersection has the same set of rules
Yes.
to get consistency.
Yeah.
So I can get you I have a survey I can get you, Josh, if you
Well, so first I would say
I'd love to see that too.
the vegetation definitely needs to be trimmed back, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Because looking at the vegetation, you can't even see the crosswalk sign or the bike path sign.
Yes, I noticed that today as I was actually coming in. Okay.
So maybe we should put in for that to be trimmed back and opened up,
Yep.
so get better sight lines. Because even if we
At
cut back,
all of the bike path intersections?
well, this is Winslow in particular.
Oh, okay.
So I think that, especially where the bushes in the back of the Daily Brew parking lot,
Yeah.
it gives you a big blind spot as you're coming up to the crosswalk. So if they open that up,
Agreed.
I agree. Yeah, I think sight lines is the big issue there.
Yep.
So I think that maybe we have DPW go back there, trim back the bushes for better sight lines.
Yep.
Okay.
So, all right.
Someone cut down a huge branch off a tree that was on the corner of Pine and Old Lane. I couldn't believe how much better the sight lines are. I don't know who did it. Did the town do it or did the Eversource? Whoever did
Where
it,
was that?
No.
the town?
Where was that, ma'am?
Pine Street and then Old Main. There was a tree on the corner.
I believe DPW did that.
Oh, it's terrific.
Yeah. Because we complained about the stop sign sight line was horrible.
Right.
That was one of the work orders that we had for that area before.
Yeah.
So,
So that is terrific. And I never even thought about that. It really works. It was a good issue.
all right, so for better sight lines of bike path.
I know you're with the enterprise. You two gentlemen, are you here about an agenda item?
I have a follow-up from the last meeting.
What was that, sir?
Last year or last month?
Central Ave?
Last month. The special was, I just wanted to update. I understand you wanted to potentially look at some kind of radar measurement device, maybe to go through this process.
So that work order was sent over to them, and I have not received that back yet.
Okay, I want to get visibility. And let me preface this by saying I don't intentionally go into this meeting.
Yeah.
But as I
So actually, this isn't on our agenda, so we have to wait till at the end, then we can discuss it kind of freely as a after item thing. Not that I want to cut you off, but
But I do.
it just,
We can whip through the rest of this, I
we're
think.
technically not supposed to talk about
Right.
off-road, but we can discuss that one later. Request for caution children's sign on Davis Neck, residents down there, it's kind of a narrow road. They would just like a caution children's sign.
That's okay with me.
Fine with me.
Okay, so that takes that one. Install sign. And then Hatchville Road residents they're complaining about pedestrians and bicycles, having near misses. They would just
Yeah.
like some of the share the road, 4-foot, whatever signs that we put up. The share the road signs.
No problem.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, install.
I don't know why it's a problem to begin with, but okay.
Road signs. Request for speed limits after safety zones. The issue for this was, after the safety zones,
Right.
when vehicles drive through there now, they usually detect speed limit by the camera on the front of the vehicle. And the issue people are having is they're coming down the road, they go through a safety zone,
Yeah.
it sees 20 miles per hour, it doesn't see the end sign
Oh.
underneath. So then their cars are saying it's 20 miles an hour
Keep going.
as they keep going, which for us,
Oh,
it's
gee.
not the worst thing because it slows
Right.
people down.
Yeah.
Well, people are complaining they would like a posted speed limit so somebody knows what the speed limit is after the safety zone. And they're not
So
guessing.
they can step on it?
So they can step on it.
Okay.
So I kind of,
Like, how far after the safety zone?
I think they were just saying safety zone ends, then you say just 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, 30 miles,
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I don't necessarily have an issue with it, provided
Right.
it doesn't conflict with any of the warrants that we already have,
Correct.
because that would be an issue.
That's true.
I mean, the speed limit that's posted would be the one for the warrant for the area anyway,
Exactly.
Yeah.
so.
Seems like an awful lot of money for signs.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot
And
of
effort.
signs.
It
And
does sound like, right.
How about this? Propose this to the DPW and see what their opinion is on funding for it, and then we'll go from there.
All right,
All right.
smart.
Yes.
Hey Josh, Frank Frazar Rd, Russell Road. I've noticed that complaint, that's come from people saying, because I drive the safety zone frequently and walk it frequently. And I noticed the end speed zone sign.
Yep.
But I think, so I was going to bring up at another time saying, it's unfortunate, like you have to put end, but I'm sure the state has a requirement that.
They make you
this
put the
is,
end in
You
there.
have to clearly mark it, right. The state's a lot of problems. But I think the complaint was from somebody saying, I don't know what the speed limit is at the safety zone.
Yes.
Because my argument would be, I wouldn't go crazy with signs. I would just make sure that approximate, but not immediately,
Yeah.
following a safety zone.
Somewhere in there,
There's a posted speed limit.
within a half, quarter
Yeah,
mile.
within a reasonable amount, rather than, okay, 29, you go 30.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, because there's been complaints from people near the end saying there's been.
People are accelerating off.
Yeah.
So It should be
Really?
safety zone, and then whatever.
Within a
some
quarter mile?
Reasonable amount.
Okay.
Because I
with
think
that.
maybe on Manon, it may be a while before you get
Yeah.
to a speed limit sign.
The next
So
one's like Acapesket or somewhere in there, isn't it?
It could be.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Acapesket.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as it's just, I think standardized, whatever that is, maybe within, quarter of a mile or something, there's
All
a
right.
sign. Because now, at the other end of the Heights safety zone, where it ends right on the hill
Yeah.
there are 25-mile-an-hour speed limit signs on Grand Ave.
All right. I will take that under advisement. I'll
I
pass it
just
on to
hate to
them.
see it be right after.
Yeah, because then you're
Yes,
just stacking
me too.
signs.
Yep.
And then we have that sign pollution again, like we get
Right,
tend to get in
exactly.
Falmouth. So, all right, I believe that covers everything for the agenda. So
yeah.
we can, and our next meeting will be, dun, dun, dun. Let's see here,
September.
September. Oh,
Wow.
this year is flying by.
Yeah. So
All right,
sad.
so, 1, 2, so it looks like the 15th